Hey there, Red Deer. It's Mayor Ken again with you. Pleased to be with you this morning. And what a venue we have this morning, the Red Deer Arts Council new premises. I mean, it doesn't get much more exciting than this. Right in the heart of our downtown, 4919 49th Street. Come on down, meet Suzanne and her wonderful team. It's just a treat to be here this morning. It's a brand new space, very, very exciting for us. And we're all set to go after council yesterday. So let's take it away.
All right. So for my first question for you, at Monday's meeting, Council worked through and approved the shelter site evaluation matrix for a future permanent shelter. Are you able to update the viewers on this and other unique Council processes and how you feel it went?
Well, that's a tremendous question. And yes, I am able to update the viewers this morning for sure. And when you talk about new processes and the way we did these three meetings. This took us 3 meetings to get to this particular matrix. June 22, I think, 27, and then of course last night. So they were long meetings, but they were reflective really of a lot of thought by council and a lot of input by viewers like yourself that have emailed or attended public sessions or gone on our website and did a survey. We were able then to take that information and to collectively gather a council and administration, come up what we called a document called a matrix, a search matrix, if you will. So it outlines the most important criteria for the shelter, and then it has subcategories underneath that. So things like impact on neighborhoods, impact on the broader community, impacts on traffic, services, programming, those kinds of things. They're all considered in that particular matrix. And we look forward now to enabling our administration to work now with a commercial realtor. I'll be involved from the council's perspective. Myself and the deputy mayor will also give council's perspective to that. And we look forward to the first report, which is going to come from administration on July the 18th, so just a couple weeks. And then ultimately the decision at the end of August for the shelter site. So pretty exciting.
All right. And are there any other future steps towards this process to be finished?
Yes, there are many, many more conversations that need to be had. So if you can imagine a commercial realtor being engaged now to look for a site, there are a couple of check-in points with council, meaning council will have an opportunity to see how the work is going and so forth. Numerous conversations with many people in the community who are only now, some of them, coming to the realization that council is shortly approaching this decision. And so I would say to any of the viewers this morning, if you still have ideas, if you still want to contribute to the process, please send your feedback into City Hall on Shelter Mailbox, I believe it's called, or we can certainly guide you that way, or any department. Go on our website and you will see it. So it's not too late to add your opinion and so on. So it's the work is still continuing. It's a very busy work, but it's fundamental, I think, to how our city will shape itself. Around looking after the most vulnerable and at the same time balancing the impact to the city overall.
All right. And I guess for the next question is about Highway 11A Northlands Drive.
Yes.
Council heard a report outlining the needs to press pause on the Highway 11A Northland Drive project due to increasing construction and supply costs. When was the project slated to begin, and was Council surprised to hear there was such an increase in costs?
Well, the project was slated to begin later this summer. So and in fact, the preparatory work for the project had already started. So in other words, when I say preparatory, I mean the servicing of the site, for example, bringing in water, bringing in infrastructure, all those kinds of things, bringing in the infrastructure needed for the actual project itself. So, I thought about that particular item quite a bit over the weekend, and the word that hit me was inflation. And not just the inflation that you and I are feeling, for example, at the pumps or at our grocery store, but construction inflation, which has really, really taken off. So council was presented with a report yesterday indicating that particular project, when we RFP'd it or went out for offers to construct it, came in at about $35 million over budget that we had allocated for it. So our engineering people sat back with some of our other administrative people and basically said the cost benefit at this point is a little bit out of bid or out of balance. So basically what I mean by that is the cost to develop that piece and the near term or medium term benefit of further development, private development and so on, is not there at this point, actually for reasons similar to the ones we've encountered ourselves. So it wasn't necessarily a surprise. I thought council did extremely well in being able to look at that and say a project that effectively is doubled in cost is not something that we should take on when the benefit is not apparent at this point. So a good decision.
All right, and to follow up on that a little bit, can you talk a little bit about how shifting growth patterns played into this decision?
Could you repeat that? Shifting growth patterns. Shifting growth patterns. Thank you. You know, it does take me back to my Newfoundland days, so I love to hear the word "ship" in any sense. It's awesome. You know, but shifting growth patterns. That's a terrific way of putting in. When I answered the last question, cost benefits. So we're seeing a lot of growth into the northeast part of the city, a tremendous amount of growth in the northeast part of the city. This project is really into the more north and a little bit more northwest. So those lands are around the 11A, Highway 11A part of the city, which at this point aren't being taken up as much. And again, development cost is a large factor in that. I look at this project as being quite potential. It'll return, but it won't be until, I believe, we get the annexation project that we announced about 5 months ago, 6 months ago, completed and sort of scoped and so on. There's a tremendous potential in that area. We're just a little bit before the wave of development is coming, and that's why the budgetary pressure was so immense on the project.
All right, thank you. And for the last question here, is there anything else you would like to add from council's meeting yesterday that you would like to mention to the viewers?
Well, certainly the impact of inflation, and we certainly talked, we certainly talked about that as a major factor, but. If I might say, and I'll just go back to our introduction today, because we're talking to your viewers out there, but we have another enterprise in our downtown this morning. We have an exciting project coming through the Arts Council, which is a garden show and an art show and so on. So yet another reason I'll say it, I unashamedly pitch, if you will, the fact that people need to come downtown for a little bit of rest, relaxation, enjoyment, expand their scope, and this is the place to do it.
All right, and back to you for closing statements, I guess.
Well, closing statement, Shaw viewers, let's all cross our fingers, and I've got mine crossed, that by the time Westerner Days comes, and that's not that far away, Mr. Sun will be out in all his glory. I mean, we are a little soggy right now, let's be honest. But, there's hope and there's potential. And I'll say this. If you can get out and explore the outdoors in Red Deer, please do so. And for sure, come on downtown and enjoy everything we have to offer. Until next time, this is Mayor Ken.